For 25 long years, Abraham waited. He waited through silence, through doubt, through old age, through impossible circumstances. God had promised him a son, a nation, a future beyond imagination. But every passing year made the promise seem more impossible. And now, Abraham was nearly 100 years old. Sarah's womb had long stopped producing life. Humanly speaking, the story should have ended there. But Genesis 21 begins where human ability finally dies and where God's power fully begins. Then suddenly, the impossible happened, exactly as God promised. Sarah conceived, not in her youth, not in her strength, but in old age. The same woman who once laughed in disbelief was now laughing with joy. And Abraham named the child Isaac, meaning laughter. Because God had turned years of pain into overwhelming joy. A man nearly 100 years old, holding his newborn son for the first time. Every wrinkle on Abraham's face carried the memory of waiting. Every tear carried the evidence that God never forgets his promises. But why did God wait so long? Why allow decades of silence? Because sometimes, God delays miracles until no human can take the credit. When Isaac was born, nobody could call it coincidence. Nobody could explain it naturally. This was not human strength. This was divine intervention. And maybe that is the hardest part of faith. Waiting when nothing seems to change. Waiting while prayers seem unanswered. Waiting while years disappear. Yet Genesis 21 whispers a powerful truth. God may seem late, but he is never wrong. Abraham organized a great feast to celebrate Isaac. Joy filled the camp, but not everybody was happy. In the shadows stood Ishmael, the son Abraham had through Hagar. And Sarah noticed something disturbing. Ishmael was mocking Isaac. Maybe jealousy, maybe resentment, maybe anger. But Sarah immediately understood something dangerous was growing inside the household. Then she made one shocking demand. Sarah told Abraham, "Send Hagar and her son away." Those words shattered Abraham's heart. Ishmael was still his son. How could a father abandon his child? The tension inside Abraham's tent became unbearable. Love, jealousy, fear, promise. That night, Abraham probably could not sleep. But then God spoke. God told Abraham not to fear. Isaac would carry the covenant promise. But God also promised something surprising. I will make Ishmael into a great nation too. Even in separation, God had not forgotten Ishmael. Even rejected people are still seen by heaven. Then came one of the saddest scenes in Genesis. Hagar wandered into the wilderness of Beersheba. The water was gone, the heat was unbearable, death felt close. Finally, Hagar placed Ishmael beneath a bush. She could not bear watching her son die. Imagine that moment, a mother helpless in the desert. No rescue, no hope, no future, only silence. But heaven was listening. Genesis says, God heard the boy crying. Not the powerful, not the rich, not kings, a crying child in the wilderness. A crying child captured heaven's attention. An angel called out to Hagar, "Do not fear." Then something incredible happened. God opened her eyes. And suddenly she saw a hidden well. The well may have already been there, but despair had blinded her from seeing it. And sometimes pain does the same to us. We become so overwhelmed by fear that we miss the provision already nearby. Genesis 21 teaches us, God can reveal hidden answers in our darkest moments. Ishmael survived. And just as God promised, he became a great nation. History itself would remember his descendants. Because when God speaks, even rejected people still carry purpose. Genesis 21 is more than a story about a miracle birth. It is about waiting, pain, family conflict, fear, rejection, and divine faithfulness. It reminds us that God remembers promises long after humans lose hope. Heaven still hears crying voices in the wilderness, and miracles arrive when impossible. The promise finally arrived, not early, not late, exactly when heaven intended.